Hi, this is Miss Morgan and super cool civics class. I mean, is there really any other way to have civics class? Wait, don't answer that. Okay, this video is going to be about the causes of the American Revolution. I am kind of covering up that heading. There you go. And all right, let's keep moving forward. So you need a piece of paper or your composition notebook. If you need to pause the video to go get one of those items, now is a good time to do that. I'm going to try to keep the video going, so you're probably going to have to pause it periodically. All right, so here's a picture of a piece of paper that I folded, and I folded it like this. In half once, in half twice, and then in half again. And there we go. Side one, side two. You might want to pause the video and label the boxes at this point. If you want to use your composition notebook, then here's how I set up my composition notebook. And it's pretty straightforward. It's similar to the paper, it's just in the composition notebook. For each topic, you're going to write 2 facts. You can use abbreviations in your notes, and I recommend you do that just so you are more efficient with your note taking, and it's a good skill in note taking. All right, so as I said before, this is events leading to the American Revolution. And here's a little bit about the American Revolution, but we're not really going to focus on the actual war right now, just the events leading up to it. So one thing that happened is that there was this war, the French and Indian War. It was actually Britain and the colonists versus the French and the Native Americans. You see some facts there. I would recommend abbreviating Great Britain. And the main point or the main connection of this war to the American Revolution is that this war cost the British a lot of money, and they're going to need to make money to help pay for their war debt. So in order to avoid future conflicts with the French and the Native Americans, they issued the Proclamation of 1763. And you can see some facts here. And basically, the Appalachian Mountains are here in the map. And King George, who's pictured there, he was the ruler of Britain at this time. He did not want the colonists to go west of the Appalachian Mountains. I'm going to click the presentation so that you can see more of the facts, and then you should pause it to write down information. The very first fact is a good fact, and then the other facts are all equally good, so I just pick some. I'm just going to have to move myself so you can actually see. This is being a pain. There we go. All right. Pause it and write 2 facts down, please. All right, if I didn't give you enough time to pause it, now would be a good time to pause it. There's just some other facts about the proclamation. The main point is that the British didn't want the colonists to fight the French again. It cost money. And the British did not want the colonists to clash with the Native Americans again because it would cost, you guessed it, money. The colonists feel like Britain is trying to tell them, where they can and can't go, and some of them would like to move west. And the British are trying to control them. All right, Sugar Act. I would write down some examples of what was taxed. All right, and they're listed there. I would pause the video, and this is just another attempt for Great Britain to make money by taxing the colonists and help the Britain thought that the colonists should help pay for their share of the protection that the British gave them when the British fought against the French and the Native Americans in the French and Indian War. So it's like, it cost us all this money, Britain thinks, and the colonists should help pay for it because they're the ones benefiting from the British protection. All right, so pause the video if you haven't already and write 2 facts down about the Sugar Act. I'm not gonna get into the sugar and molasses facts or the Committee of Correspondence information right now. All right, Stamp Act. Here's some key facts about it. The key thing is that it's paper documents and there was a stamp on these items and just another tax to make money. Again, the colonists do not like this tax. They don't have representatives in Parliament, which is the legislature of Great Britain. So they don't like having these taxes imposed on them because they don't have any say in Parliament for these taxes. However, the British view about Parliament is that Parliament doesn't represent individuals, it represents areas of the country. And so Britain felt like, well, you are represented and, kind of stop whining about all these taxes. The colonists also think, oh, Britain is going to continue to try to tax us if we don't try to protest and speak up about this. And so they felt like there was more of this to come if they didn't try to speak up. Quartering Act does not deal with quarters. Some money here, might be hard to tell. These are quarters. Okay, it actually has to do with having soldiers, giving them a place to live. So I would write down this first bullet here, not when it was passed, but the first bullet in bold, and maybe the second fact, so that you can get the gist of they keep thinking everything Britain's doing is too harsh. Just like maybe sometimes you clash with your parents and you think, oh, they're being too harsh, and you see a pattern. That's basically how the colonists felt. So I kind of already talked about this, but the concept is that the colonists wanted to have representatives in Parliament, to have more of a say on the specific laws that were being passed, and it didn't happen, but that's what they were hoping for. And they also didn't like that the money that was being collected was going back to Britain and wasn't staying in the colonies. All right, that is the end, but we didn't get to everything, so it's not quite the end. I think I put this in the wrong slide. Well, let me just exit a second. Quartering Act. Yeah, I just put it in the wrong spot. Oops, tricked ya. All right. Townshend Acts. All right. Here's some key facts about the Townshend Acts. I would just write what was taxed. And you could write that it was repealed eventually. Obviously, the first bullet tells you needed to collect additional taxes. That's kind of a given. But I would definitely write down what was taxed and then either pick the first fact or the fact that the Townshend Acts were repealed. All right, the next slide is going to talk about the T, I think. We're going to skip the Boston Massacre for now. Tea Act. All right. This should be the last part. All right. Where am I going to go? I can go over here. 1773. You should have already written that down. Okay. I would pick this second bullet, this bullet, or this bullet to write down. Well, two of the three. Definitely, it doesn't matter actually. First, second, third, two of the three. I'd write down. Pause it if you need to. All right, that should be the end. So, nope. There we go. Now it's the real end. All right, I included the dumbbell because a lot of this information was about power. Who's going to have the power and strength? Colonies or Britain? And it was about money. Money. My sister sent this to me for my birthday. Anyway, money. Okay, paying for war debts and all that. All right. So that's a wrap, civic style. Good night, 8th grade civic students of 2020, 2021. But you're probably not watching this at night, but I'm recording it at night. So good night, good afternoon, whatever. Okay, bye.